Green Pill community, what is good? We are back. Jay's Perspective. Hope everybody had a great Father's Day weekend. Enjoyed yourselves. I enjoyed myself. Got a nice little card from my daughter, her sister. Got some home cooked food. So it was a good time. But before I even get into the actual video and topic, what we're gonna talk about today, I'm gonna give y'all a preview into the next video because my mom, and I've been trying to hold off on even doing this. I've warned her multiple times. She keep coming with all these LeBron James slandering videos, upping up, MJ and Kobe, and I respect both of them, but let's stop playing games and not act like the king didn't do his thing either. But there's all the disrespect, and I've warned her. And she told me personally that she's been sending that shit just to spark a reaction. And yeah, I know I broke the rule, YouTube. So sorry I cussed before the minute and a half. I don't give a damn. You're getting a video soon, man. All that slander, bro. I'm going to address all of that and deal with it here very, very soon. Anyway, let me Musa, calm down. Today we're gonna be doing the Spider Noir review. I had meant to do this about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, but stuff happened, so we back at it. Green Pill community, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We are 10 subscribers away from 1,600, so help your boy reach that. Let's get to that 1,600. We building towards the 2,000 and beyond, and we're gonna just keep building this thing up. But let's delve into the topic of the day, which is Spider Noir. This show was dope. It was on Amazon Prime. Sony, you finally got something right. You finally did Spider-Man right beyond the Tobey Maguire era. Minus Spider-Man 3. Don't watch that piece of shit. But this was fire. First off, if you're not familiar with Spider Noir, he's a Spider-Man based in the 1930s. So like during the Great Depression era, and just like during that time period, it's a lot more dark, a lot more grounded. Things are a lot more serious, and I liked the approach that they took with Spider Noir. Nicolas Cage plays as Spider Noir. This one, minor spoiler alert, this is not Peter Parker. This is actually, if you're familiar with Spider-Man, the Spider-Man, content and everything that they come out with in the lore. Ben Reilly's a clone of Peter Parker. Put the nerd hat on. Ben Reilly's is a clone of Peter Parker. Was around during the Clone Era saga. He's a fan favorite. So I kind of liked that they, switched it up. Didn't have Peter Parker based in the 1930s. That's usually how they do it. That's how it was when I played. They have an old game on PS4 or PS3, Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. That's why I got introduced to Spider Noir, and I really liked playing as him because when you play as him, you go back to that 1930s era. The graphics are all in black and white, and they actually give you the option on here to watch it in color or black and white. You can watch it either way, but I prefer the black and white because it gives you more of that old school feel, that old time TV feel as far as watching TV shows during that time period. And the way they kind of set up Spider-Man and had him going, he was a lot more grounded, a little more serious, not as many jokes. And for his powers, because he's got the powers he's got, but the way they did it and they went about it within the series and how they told the story, it didn't feel like it was outlandish for him to be doing what he was doing because it felt grounded within that time period. They had him, he reminded me a lot of Batman, honestly, like with his detective skills and diagnosing situations. The way they did the Rogues Gallery, I won't even tell you who's in there, but the way that they went about approaching how they took care of each character. I really like the backstories. They all ended up being able to connect and intertwine, and they don't just give you the whole origin story of Spider-Man, Ben Reilly, or Spider Noir, Ben Reilly immediately. You know, it starts off with the first episode. You kind of get a small glimpse into who he is and what his past was and where he's at in present day. I like the way that how they approach like some of the main characters that would be around the story, like Cat Hardy, and I forget who the main gangster was, but I like the way they approached that. I like the way that they approached how he got his powers. I like the way they approached how the others got their powers too, because it tied into I believe it was World War One is where they originally got their power from. So it's like there's a connection there as you go throughout the series. The action's good. It looks realistic. Nicolas Cage was built for this damn role. Like he's the one that pitched it, pushed for it. Him and the directors, like, they did a great job, fantastic job as far as putting this thing together. It's about 8 episodes, so, and none of them are over an hour, and you can kind of just binge watch it all in one day. It definitely gets you, as you get deeper into each episode and through the series, you get more invested into it and kind of want to see what's going to happen next. It's a lot of moving pieces. But the way they organize it and put it out on the board, it all comes together, blends well, makes sense. Definitely, I'm hoping that we do get a season 2, because season 1, it ended in a fire way. It didn't end on any cliffhangers. They closed out everything they needed to close out within the first season, as far as any stories and as far as the characters. I like the co-characters, the co-stars, the supporting cast. They had Robbie Robertson in there, which you don't get to see a lot of him. So I like the way he played his role. He was pretty smooth and savvy reporter. It really just felt like you were going back to a past time of America, which was the 1930s, and going into being able to get a glimpse into that era of the 1930s. And see how people operated during that time. And this is, of course, Spider-Man's in New York, so this is New York in the 1930s, the Great Depression era. This how everybody reacted, how reporters, got the stories. You got your conspiracies. It's a nice blend of everything. You get the action, but honestly, the action isn't even the most interesting part. It's more so the moving pieces, the stories behind each character, how they're connected to one another. Some of the decisions they have to make, some of the choices. It's a great story. Like, I'll just tell you that, like, this is like chef's kiss to how they did this shit. I really enjoyed it. Definitely recommend that you guys check it out, Spider Noir, on Amazon Prime. It's only been out for about a month and a half, maybe 2 months at the most. If you haven't seen it, it's one of the best things that you have not seen yet. You should definitely go check it out. If you're a Spider-Man fan in general, this is a little different flavor to add to the lore and the genre of Spider-Man. Plus, we got Spider-Man Brand New Day coming out next month, so why not get a different feel and just get as much Spidey mania as you can before you ultimately go check that out July 31st. I'm getting y'all a plug right there. But yeah, the story was fire. The show was fire. I'm really hoping they do greenlight a season 2. I don't see why they wouldn't, because it was very successful. I like the way they approached everything. This is the formula. If you're gonna do Spider-Man as a show and as a standalone, they had the formula on Spider Noir. You put it in a certain time period. It doesn't have to be connected to anything else. You went in a different direction as far as not having to use Peter Parker for everything. You brought in a different Spider-Man who people are fans of. If you're a comic nerd or a superhero nerd like myself, you know who it is. If not, you'll grow to love the character. But I can't say enough. Fire ass show. Definitely go check it out. Spider Noir on Amazon Prime. Green Pill community, Jay's perspective. Like I said, next video, I'm going to address the disrespect of the king by my own damn mom. I still love you, mom, of course. It's all in fun. I know that's why you like to spark reactions. So I appreciate you. you inspired a new video to come on topic. But anyway, Greenbook community, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification button. Help your boy get to 1,600. Really, we trying to get to 2,000 and beyond. But anyway, Jay's perspective. You guys have a great rest of your day. I'll be talking to you soon. Peace out.